It'd be a nice day wherever we are, but we're in the virtual world and it is cold in Nepal where we're starting off the action. Ah, yes, week 3 is here, and we got two 2-0 teams that are battling out. It's Hyperion, the champions of Season 16, who took a Season 17 hiatus, taking on fellow 2.0 team Compass, who went 4-4 last season. I am Adamsmasher, and I'm joined by my new friend Karma. And Karma, 2-0, both teams are 2-0. We got Hyperion, who's picking up where they left off after a season of hiatus. But Compass Venom showing that they're off to a good start so far after a, let's say, average 4-4 season.
Yeah, and the only thing that's really putting these two apart is that Compass Venom went 3-2 in their first week, whereas Hyperion went 3-1, and that's the only blemish that each of these teams have.
And that only blemish might not matter very much. This could be a competitive one right here. As we can see, we got some shields going on from each team, and Nodlin is going to go ahead and charge right to the point and try to defend. And looks like we see Fatnap trying to flank around. He's going to go behind and try to go after Lice and just, or Liz, excuse me. And you can see Rose trying to take out Liz, but Rose will get a target taken out in Deja Vu. And Rose wanted to see some more of that Deja Vu, but they will allow Hyperion to take the point. This battle is still far from over, but Felix just going to be taken out of the fight by Smurf, but Smurf will get taken out himself. But this is going to be going on the way, I think, to Compass Chase. And Reed already taken out of the fight. Lissaru will be taken out as well, but we got some kills going on the other way. Julia and is getting taken out too. And just when you thought the battle is going to be going the way of one, and it's going to go in the way of Hyperion most likely. No way! Dozens going to be taken out too. Compass Venom gets the flip.
Yeah, Compass Venom is playing this ball camp really well. Basically, their goal is just to surround Hyperion, and that's what they did. Hyperion was able to get the point with how it is and how Smurf Police was playing on the high ground. They just weren't able to really choose a target and go onto it.
Oh, that last battle, it felt like it was going to go into one and then goes the other. That was just how complicated that battle was. Like, nobody knew who was going to win that after so many trade-offs. So now we got 3 ults on standby. Duz is going to go ahead and start things off with the Graphitic Flux, and I don't think he's gonna get anybody, but Rose still does have that Justice Reign of Barrage on standby, but won't need it against Felix. Out of the fight, Liz is gonna be going ahead and provide some shields, and there's the Barrage. We'll take Nodlin out, so that's gonna be a lot of health. That's gonna be not there, and Anakin is gonna be smashing Lissaru to the grave, and Rose is going to be using that height to advantage. Vandy is out, and looks like Hyperion's going to need to reset here.
Yeah, that was a big fight, getting Felix picked first because of that Baptiste. So you don't have that massive AoE healing. You just have the Lucio now for speed. And with this comp, with the ball comp, they want to stay around, and they want the Pharah to be able to just explode on everybody that's grouped up, and they're doing that perfectly.
You see right there, that's some pretty good odds on 40% now for Rose and just continuing to rise. But if they really are getting into trouble, both the ults are on standby on the side of Venom. And whoa, my goodness, Julia gets taken out right away. That's a Valkyrie gone to waste right there. If you see one, very dead eyes there. And Patty is taken. There's the Smurf. It's going to be using that nano. And there comes the... Ooh, Jackson Moon will take out Anakin with it. And that's going to be giving room for Deja Vu to take out both DPSs on Compass Venom and get the point back their way.
Yeah, they were able to get a good pick onto Julia first, that's sort of like their main source of healing, especially since Smurf Relief is playing on that high ground. They can only really stay in a certain area, so with having that Mercy picked first, you don't really have a pocket for Rose, so they can't go in and be aggressive as they want to be.
And that's pretty good. Felix now has the Matrix on standby, but they're going to need to be wary of Nodlin's Earth Shatter, but the Pulse Bomb will take out Liz, courtesy of Fat Nat Pat. A lot of rhyming there in that one, but Deja Vu will avenge. So that's 1-1 each, but Hyperion looks like they're starting to get their composure going. Deja Vu damaging. A lot of kills there, but Julia will bring Smurf right back into the fight to get the support line back up. Oh my goodness, Rose is now taken out of the fight, so that's barrage you're not going to have to worry about, at least for the time being. And there comes the minefield. It's going to be dropping that onto the point, so pretty limited space to go through. And oh my goodness, did you see Nodlin just somehow managed to avoid all those mines in the minefield? Somehow! How do you do that? Here comes a self-destruct from Dozen, and is not going to get anybody there. Rose, however, gonna get two with that. Felix is taken out to tank and support, and this is huge. And this is spelling a little bit of trouble for Hyperion right here. They're only down to 3, and this is pretty much going to be flipped over to Venom, and that's going to be the Shrine going to the way of Compass Venom.
Yeah, they lost track of Rose right there, and they were able to get her on the back and just barrage too late. Then the Diva was able to get there, but a little bit too late and lost mech anyways. So that was just great execution by the side of Compass Venom.
So now we head into the village. You remember Winter Wonderland, the village with the team of Maze going up against the Yeti in this nice stage here. Well, we're unfortunately not going to be seeing that, but we're seeing something just as great. And now we're seeing some switches going on. Fat and Pat, speaking of Maze, Batty and Pat going Maze here. I wonder if they heard me mention the climatologist. I forget what Maze. Forget it. But yeah, switching over to the Maze on this one. And we got Lucio's coming out on both sides, and here we are for the first fight. And they're all gonna be bunched up near the point right here. But the immortality field there to protect Hyperion. We got both sides losing one, but that's more important. Smurf Police is taken out. That's less healing there, but they are gonna get the point. Compass Venom will, and take out a couple more. And looks like Hyperion's gonna be resetting.
Yeah, Hyperion was able to get that first wall off behind Anakin to get them sort of separated from their team. I don't know why they didn't decide to push and try to capitalize on it, but then Compass Venom just did it perfectly. They walled off Noodlin, and they just absolutely separated them from the entire team.
Oh, the May wall, but they're not going to expect. There's the sentry turrets flying away from Rose. And now there's that photon barrier is now active, but the Earth Shatter comes out. So that's a big help, and that's going to be another big team fight win for Compass Venom, courtesy of, in part of, though, with the Earth Shatter.
Yeah, they were able to peel for Anakin really well. He did get separated, but then you see Dozen, you see that lamp from Smurf Police just come out right at the perfect time, so they don't die, and then they just wall off Noodlin, and he falls instead.
Now it looks like Hyperion's going to go in the low ground again. They're going to try to capture this point, but here's Rose with the Photon Bird to try to get some disrupting going, but Felix Penguin will bring out the Amp Matrix, try to get some extra damage going on, but here comes the Blizzard coming out of Nat. We'll see what that does. 3 members frozen. There's Dozen. Benefit of the doubt from the Blizzard, and gets 2 with that self-destruct, and they will hold on for the time being, at least.
Yeah, even with Hyperion playing this brawl last round, it looks like that Compass Venom has their number for it.
That's their number and more, as they just took out Lissa Rue, saying, we're going to make sure your momentum gets disrupted a little more. So now it's the high ground. Nodlin will get the Earth Shatter off. Anakin and Sims will be out of the fight. Rose is also taken out of the fight. And that's both of their ults taken out right there. They get the point, but they're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage. They might need to be wary of Anakin Sims' Earth Shatter in the next team fight.
Yeah, and they also got to worry about the Reinhardt, because if they do get walled off again, then who knows what could happen. Like, they haven't been able to save the Reinhardt as much as Compass Venom has.
And here we go. They cannot afford to lose any more team fights here for Hyperion. Nodlin does have the Earth Shatter ready to go, but I don't think he got anybody. Oh, Nodlin gets one, hits Nat out of the fight, and that was a quick team wipe right there for Hyperion. They desperately need that, and they're going to be in better shape for the team fight with a self-destruct and an amplification matrix on standby.
Yeah, and that was actually really big by Nautilin being able to block Anakin's shatter. They are going to try to go down this main point as well, which is pretty good, especially with the Sim TP.
It looks like the teleporter, they're going to try and go right into the point, and that was kind of an ill-advised direction on where the self-destruct was going. And just unfortunately not able to get anyone there. Smurf Police is able to save the team with the immortality field for the time being. That photon barrier will help out, and it's helping them out indeed. There's the sound barrier to keep the team healthy, wealthy, and wise to ensure that they win this team fight and make sure they go home with Nepal and go up 1-0. Compass Venom will.
Yeah, and they played that really well for that ending brawl comp, just being able to just wall off the other side. Hyperion wasn't able to really touch, and if they did, they would just have a window right in their face.
Although, let's give some credit to Nautilin, just doing the best for the team, just had some good moments there. You see this Earth Shatter, there's that block there to keep the team alive, and that's what helped out. Look at that quad kill there for Nautilin, and just that's someone to look out for if Hyperion is able to turn things around in the next map, which will be Junkertown.
Junkertown is a really good map too for Brawl, but it's a lot different. You gotta have that sort of double sniper comp with it, but a lot of people opt to just run the double shield comp, so that way you have sort of free-flowing shields rather than having to be forced into a 6-man.
Ah, yes, and very big area too, where you can get some sniping action going. Especially when you go on the high grounds near the entryway to the Junkertown proper area. Just so many open spaces, especially when you can pull off an easy multi-kill with a self-destruct. And we've seen Jackson Moon and Duz in 2000 both had some decent diva moments in Nepal. And we could potentially see some mayhem action happening in the big open area.
Oh yeah, especially with the first point being how wide open it is and how forgiving it is for some defenders, especially with the sniper play. If they're able to hold that corner, the sort of like that third corner around the mega, it will be difficult for the attacking team to get around it, especially if there is a diva with a diva bomb.
Alright, so players to look out for. We talked Nautilin was the player to look out for Hyperion. If for Compass Venom, I would say the player to look out for would be Rose. The Pharah action, the explosive action, and especially, the barrages. Getting some big important kills there, especially in the first part of Nepal.
And especially at the end there with the Symmetra, they sort of flew under the radar, but they got 3 kills there to end the fight. So their play has been sort of turning around. Especially, I want to also point out Smurf Police has been doing really well on the Ana and the Baptiste, because with that ball comp, you're sort of alone. You're a lone sniper, you're out in the open, and they just sort of, I don't really see them die all that much. I think they died 1 time, so it's something like that where it's like, you gotta have your flex support stay alive, and they were able to do that.
And being the captain, trying to be the best you can be. Keep putting the team on your back, but really didn't need to in that first map. Everyone pulled off their weight quite well. The supports keeping the team healthy. Anakin Sims had some good Reinhardt moments as well, especially in the second round in the Nepal village. So, and poor Lisaru in that one was just getting bullied in that match. Or in that first map, I should say, at least. Especially after that fight was over, and then just getting chased after by Venom, and just going down for the count just to add to insult to injury caused by Venom.
Yeah, and especially with that ball comp too, Anakin was doing very well scouting out where Hyperion was going. trying to stay disruptive as much as they could. They hit some pretty good minefields too that were going to be that separated the team. But we do have a sub, which is Robo coming in for Anakin, as well as our high praises have been. They are moving to relegation onto a bench role right now. So I wonder if they might have something up their sleeve, or if just RoboCop was sleeping in for a bit.
RoboCop. But anyways, we're gonna see how RoboCop will fit into the Compass Venom game plan as we head towards Junkertown starting really soon. I have not seen Junkertown in a while. We haven't seen much of that in Overwatch League either, with Overwatch 2 being played in the highest league.
Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting map, especially with each section being as different as it is. With point 1, it's this wide open, free for all, just everybody's everywhere at once. Second point is a little bit higher, lower sort of situation, where if the defense has that really strong second point high, they are basically unstoppable. You can't push past that, you can't really defend it unless you get some flanks going. And the third point is sort of a mixture of both. It has that sort of horseshoe effect, where it has the fidget spinner, where defense can set up, but sometimes they'll try to set up on the low ground to try to get some pushes in. And third point is very difficult to defend, especially if the attacking it's on a roll. It's hard to get them to stop on that third point.
And indeed so. I do enjoy going on the rotating platforms myself as well when playing in Junkertown. Especially if I'm playing on defense, trying to play a diva or trying to play a sniper. And very good, probably play a Widow. You could potentially play an Ashe or a Cassidy, rotating around, especially when you got Deadeye's activated there and you don't know where the Cassidy is until it's potentially too late. But I believe the teams are getting ready to go, and we're going to get ready for map number 2, Junkertown, our escort map. So here we go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what each team plays, because we did already see sort of Hyperion sort of sticking to that brawl role. So I wonder if they're going to stick to it, whereas Compass Venom we went to a ball roll, and then they also went to that brawl. So who knows? Maybe we might see some double shield or something else.
Or something else indeed, like a dive or double sniper action, which you mentioned before would be a big ideal composition, especially in the first area of Junkertown. And so far, we have not seen sniper action. Oh, there we go. Oakley and Vadi going for the Cassidy and the Hanzo respectively, and Rose, the big name to look out for on the side of Compass Venom, opting to go for the Widowmaker here.
Yeah, it's the Widow play here for Rose, especially since they are running like the sort of double bubble setup. It's very helpful because they can just sort of sit in the back and just sort of support their front line as well as support their back line. If Julia is able to get a stun onto somebody trying to dive Smurf, it's going to be an easy headshot for them. 1, 2, 3.
And we're going to see what Compass Venom can do against the double shields, that is Nodlin and Jackson. So here we go. Oakley gonna start things off. Already, Pat is taking out the fight, and Rose is gonna say, never mind the sniper part. I'm gonna go ahead and head on back to one of my favorite characters, the Pharah. But oh my, Oakley! Wow, takes out Rose right away. That's 2 big picks right now. It's already 38% ult charge. Oh, look at this!
Yeah,
It's a bunch of big kills, but there we go. And it looks like Compass Venom is like, we've had enough. Let's just end this team fire here and let's just get this payload started.
And that is very good for Hyperion because they were able to shave a minute completely off the clock, get 0 cart progress. They're going to be able to get sort of like the second push before they even round this third corner.
Interesting, this is just like before when you thought, who's going to win this fight? You think Hyperion was going to slowly win this fight, and then all of a sudden, whoop! 4 players from the Hyperion taken out of the fight, and oh my goodness, RoboCop gets taken for a ride. Now it's going to go Angry Ape on a few, but oh my, not insane. Nah, I have a way to quell the Angry Ape. Send them 6 feet under, and now Dozen's going to benefit from the nano boost. Rose, however, is going to take Body out with the damage boost from Julia, and also will take Felix for a ride. Pulse Bomb taking out Jackson, and probably was helpless from the sleep darts, and Compass Venom is looking very smooth, and you see that dragon's coming out of Body. That was kind of a desperation move, and I think that's something Body would want back later on.
Oh yeah, they probably want those dragons back, especially going into the second point. But especially with going into a dive comp against like the sort of double shield brawl setup that Hyperion's playing, you gotta try to play from space, and they've just been sort of playing super close into him.
But look at this on the side of Hyperion, 5 ults on standby still. But yeah, that would have been great for Body to have those dragons back. Nodlin will take out RoboCop. Fatnap is out of the fight. Here comes the Deadeye's not going to get anybody there, and Jackson will get put to sleep. So no graphitic flux for the big Jackson Moon. And now we got 3 ults left on each side, and this could pretty much go either way right here. And you see Nat trying to stay near the doorway, and Rose is going to be going ahead and shooting right on through the entry, and it's going to fall back. Nodlin will take out RoboCop, and Rose once again is just getting taken out by the DPS is there. I'm thinking they might have Rose's number here as we're in the second point of Junkertown.
Yeah, and this is sort of it's very difficult for Afara here to get momentum because there's only really one window that you can shoot through. So it's not as free-flowing as point 1, where it's like you can sort of choose anyway. You have to sort of go through these certain chokeholds. And if they're paying attention, it will be difficult for them to get through.
Wow, and there, the Graviton Surge will have its effect. Rose makes quite sure of it and takes 2 out with the barrage, but 3 members taken out by Compass Venom. Now, out of the Compass Venom by Hyperion. And that's going to be a little bit of reset, but there's Earth Shatter taking 2 out, both tanks. Victims of the Earth Shatter. Dozen is out of the fight. RoboCop luckily enough to escape with their life there. And Dozen's going to be opting for the Diva here for the next fight.
Yes, Vatty also does a soldier swap here, which is very good, especially since they are doing this sort of high ground. And Rose swaps back over to the Cassidy. So it's going to be difficult for Compass Venom because they do have this Mercy, so I wonder if it's sort of like a transitional period where they have the Velks, they might try to push it. But who knows?
Who knows indeed. Here comes a Graphitic Flux. Will anybody be hit by that? And I don't think anybody's going to be hurt by that. Julia will activate the Valkyrie to try to ensure this team stays alive. With only a minute 43 is left on the clock and nobody's on the card. This card is going back. Someone's going to need to pay attention here. And they're still focused on the fight at hand, but they have taken out 2, Oakley and Felix. Nodlin, well, lucky enough to survive, is going to take Dozen out. If you're Compass Venom, you gotta pay attention to the payload because it's almost going back to almost the beginning of the second point.
Yeah, especially since they got around that sort of corner and they got those first 2 picks, you would have probably seen Rose try to probably move the point, or even Dozen to get the point since they are on the Diva to get that high mobility. But everybody was looking bloodthirsty right there from Compass.
Yeah, being bloodthirsty can have some benefits, especially when you can be aggressive and for a high risk, high reward. But if you're not paying attention to the payload, like that could come back to haunt you, especially if they could get a hold here. That could be the difference there earlier.
Oh.
Now, here, Rose and Jackson will get blow for blow, but Jackson Moon will get another one out. Here comes the Deadeye. Not going to get anybody thanks to Felix Penguin's Immortality Field. And that's a huge save right there. So once again, Valkyrie is active to try to keep Compass Venom alive, but that rally is going to provide a little bit of armor both for themselves and Felix. Here comes the Tac Divisor, and nobody so far getting hit. That shield is up for RoboCop, managing to save the team from the visor. Dozen is on the payload. Oakley will have I should say Rose, excuse me, will use the Deadeye to take out Vadi, but there's just too much damage done here against Venom Compass to pretty much do anything else, and we got the cleanup crew is arriving on the scene, but here comes RoboCop trying to stall on the point to see what can happen. RoboCop is able to take out Lissaru, so there's still some hope for Compass Venom to continue pushing the payload, but that hope getting simmered a little bit, and add to the more of hope is lost thanks to Oakley with the Deadeye on RoboCop, and Hyperion's gonna get the hold.
And it was very difficult for Compass to be able to try to get that high ground. That's sort of what I was talking about before, where it's like, if you're not able to get that high ground on the first push, if you're not able to get past it, it's one of the hardest spots to stop at, because you have to basically swap up your entire comp. You have to go to like this sort of brawl hybrid sort of mix to try to get past it, and it just becomes a mess. Julia was never able to switch off of the Mercy. I don't know if they were planning to anyways, but they weren't able to really swap to try to fit the team as much as they could.
So if you were Julia, what would be if the Mercy doesn't work out, you could potentially play and gonna run it back here on defense, playing the Mercy. Smurf Police is gonna opt for the, or I should say, yeah, RoboCop going for the Orisa there for the Baptiste for Smurf Police. Having a bunch of brain farts here. That's not good. Rose is going for the Ash this time, or will this be just like a short time pick while going back to either the Pharah or the Cassidy? And speaking of Cassidy, Vadi's going to be opting for the Cassidy. Oakley this time going to keep going for the Soldier 76 to get things rolling. And we got to see Hyperion making up their minds here. So as we head into the offensive push for Hyperion, they just need to get almost to the end of point number 2 to secure this map. And it looks like Nodlin will make the escape, taking a little bit of half health out, more than half health out. And both are going to be opting for the high grounds here to see who would be reigning dominant. So Hyperion making a great start, not wasting any time, and while Compass Venom is opting to play a little zone here, which we see this is a little bit of a risky strategy when you're on the defense rather than the aggressive approach of Hyperion. Oakley, wow, is taking out RoboCop, taking out the robot Orisa, and already Smurf Police has Amp Matrix ready, but Julia will bring back RoboCop, so now it's a full team of 6 to see who is gonna get who out. Amp Matrix already out in play. Smurf Police is taking out Lissaru, RoboCop, Jackson, and already this looks like a good start on the defense for the side of Compass Venom, and well, they're gonna have to reset here while Oakley decides to just respawn at the point.
Yeah, and this is really good for Compass because with running that double shield, you want to try to get them to push a bit so you can have that sort of buffer period. So you can start the defense around probably the second corner, and then the cart's pushing back like it is right now, so you're still able to get that sort of extra push. And then also with the Pole Dynamite's really big for Compass Venom as well, so I'm excited to see what that does.
Here comes the Tac Visor. It's going to take out Rose after taking out Smurf. Oh my goodness, look at this. Dozen is now out of the fight. That's a deadly visor when you see one. Get some much needed assistance from Lissa Ruin. Oh my goodness, 2 get taken for a ride by Jackson Moon's Graphitic Flux, and my lord, Oakley has been a monster. And I say this while we have a pause going on here, and we're going to figure out what is going on. And unfortunately, it's RoboCop might have suffered a disconnection.
Yeah, RoboCop unfortunately DC'd after falling off the map. But again, Oakley just sort of cleaned up everybody with the tack visor and the uh, Velk combo.
And we remember we were talking about Rose being the DPS big playmaker on Compass Venom. Oakley making a statement there for the side of Hyperion, partly proven the part of why Hyperion were the champions in the beginners division in season 16, and it looks like the Hyperion's never left the competition.
Yeah, they look very well reversed. Like, that first map was it might have been a fluke. It might have been just like them, like, okay, we got to warm up a bit, which first map always happens. But right now, they're looking like world beaters almost right now, especially on this attack.
Especially when you got the assistance from Lissa Rue to keep Oakley alive and give the damage boost. Yeah, that tactical visor already bad enough to deal with when you're on the other side. This becomes worse when you got more damage output factored in there, and it seems like you can't take the Soldier 76 down.
Yeah, and it was super difficult, especially with this being as wide open as it is. Unfortunately, that RoboCop wasn't able to really provide help for his team, but it's difficult for that, especially since they're able to just sort of get around everybody. They got around the sort of left-hand side by the cliff and just basically ran into everybody one by one. So you didn't have damage going from person to person. You just had all of your damage going to one person.
Okay, so we got 3 minutes left on this. If Rose is not able to get back, Anakin will be back in and fill in for RoboCop, I should say. Excuse me. But yeah, the whole internet is pretty much dead. Not even on Discord anymore. So we've dealt with internet issues. I've had some internet issues myself during some of these casts. So I can pretty much sympathize with them.
And it always sucks, especially for a player, because it's like you are disrupting the flow of your team half the time, because especially if you do DC, then you're just like, well, I lost my ult charge, I lost basically everything, I might be making a loud noise in my teammates' ears so they can't understand me. So it's just a lot of different stuff for your team, especially now with the pause. Now both teams get a chance to reset, look at the other team's comp, and be like, okay, how do we fight this? How do we do stuff like that now?
Oh, RoboCop Brad's had some not so bad moments being a great sub for Anakin. He's had some moments back on the offensive side of things, but going for the Orisa, we have not seen any Orisa action in a while. But with Hyperion, we just don't know how much he was really meant, because Hyperion is just starting to look like themselves again, like I've mentioned before. Jackson Moon caught a couple with the Graphitic Flux, was able to helped Oakley finish off one of them. And Vadi, we've yet to see a good Dragon Strike come out, at least just yet. But look at Pat on the other side, has that tactical visor ready to go, and Rose is very close to having the Bob ready. So, I think we're gonna go ahead and take a very short break here to recuperate ourselves, and hopefully RoboCop's internet issues are over with. 2 minutes is what we're going to be going. back from the fastest 2-minute break ever. So it's 20 seconds more likely was the break. But we are back from the quick break. So if RoboCop's internet's still dead, Anakin will be coming in for RoboCop. So like we mentioned before, minute 50 is left on the time bank for Hyperion, but looking at what's been happening, it looks like Hyperion most likely will get this first point.
Yeah, especially with the only player alive for Compass Venom right now is Julia. It's Dozen is coming back from Swan, I believe Rose is coming back, so it's just Julia just flying up in the air in Valkyrie with about 15 people firing at her. So they're probably gonna get it. It's gonna be go back up to like 4 minutes, and then hopefully that means that Compass Venom is able to hold this defense really good, but who knows? It could be very difficult for them, especially now with the substitute that they had putting Anakin back into the lineup.
And Anakin proved to be a big, vital part of Nepal for the side of Compass Venom. So we're gonna see they're 2 meters. They're gonna capture this first point. So there's 4 minutes remaining in Junkertown. They're gonna need to make a good defensive hold here. As you can see, they're gonna need not very many. They just need to get near the end to pull off the map win. But Compass Venom does have 3 ults to work with. They got the Graphitic Flux, they have the Bob, and they have the Tactical Visor.
I think here you sort of need to start with the Bob, especially try to get it to contest the point, so that way you can engage on a certain target and just be able to collapse on them.
I'd say Bob going on the payload would be a big thing for Compass Venom to contest, to at least alleviate some defensive pressure on them. There comes the Bob, and just walks right past them, but unfortunately is going to be put to sleep. So that Bob is not going to be around for much longer. Isn't going to make much of an impact. But Rose is going to go dynamite on Felix. Fat and Paz tactical advice will take out Body, while Smurf gets taken out of the fight, but won't matter very much though. That's battle 1 on the defense, 1 for Compass Venom, but they got more defensive fights they need to win.
I think Fat Pat is probably looking at the visor and probably wondering, like, did I really need to use that? It only really got 1 pick, didn't really push them back a lot more. So who knows? Maybe they're trying to kick themselves, but who knows?
Yeah, sometimes it's too much of a risk to go to activate as many ults as possible. It's not just how you use them, it's also ult economy that you gotta consider this as well. Body will take out the immortality field, so there's really nothing much to it, but here comes Oakley taking out Julia with the tactical visor. Doesn't taken out of the fight, and 3 members already taken out of the fight already by Hyperion, and they are just continuing to push this payload, and they are getting near the end.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end here.
And really is indeed. Even though Julia is able to make it, but is unfortunately going to be sent 6 feet under the ground, and there it is. That's Hyperion's map right there.
Yeah, right now it is currently 1-1, and Hyperion looked really good. It looked like they sort of stepped it up from first map. Oakley obviously got play of the game, because if they didn't, I think it would have been insane. But this isn't even the visor. This is just pure aim skill right here.
And now it's being assisted by the Graphitic Flux, courtesy of Jackson Moon. That was from 2 of them. They were able to take out, I think it was Julia by oneself there from the 3rd one. That was what was the icing on the cake to capture point number 1. So now we are at a tied series, 1 apiece. And remember we were talking Rose from Compass Venom? We could pretty much talk Oakley. Oakley has been just a monster on Junkertown with the open spaces. Why not go for the tactical visors there?
And they looked really, really well. We saw it a bit on Nepal, especially on Village. We saw it a little bit, but on that map, it just looked like that they just flipped on another switch and just took it into high gear.
We head on over to our hybrid map of Kings Row. For another season, Vite Ramen is the sponsor for UGC League Season 18. It is the high protein noodle that does it all. If you want to save 10% on your order, use code UGC at checkout. Because I could go for some Vite Ramen right about now. I've heard good things about it.
Now entering.
So now, Kings Row. We've seen what these two teams are capable of. We got some high grounds here. So we got some good sniper action that could be potentially seen there, especially on the top of the spawn room, offensive spawn room. We've seen a lot of sniping action.
I will have my money on it that this is a brawl mirror, especially looking at how these two teams have played on Junkertown and on Nepal Village. They both love that brawl, so I hope it's going to be that, because brawl is always my favorite thing. And it looks like Compass might be trying to roll out on this sort of... I think they're just messing around, but it looks like they might try to start with a brawl as well.
Brawl, and Pat's gonna go try out the mace. So is Vadi. We've seen this before at the Nepal Village.
Ooh.
Although the Edge did go to the... Oh, wow. Pat's changing mind, gonna be going for the Echo here this time around. One of my personal favorites. I have a soft spot for this character. Especially what you can do for the duplicate, be versatile, stick some sticky bombs there, never mind. And then Pat's gonna go back to the May. Make up your minds, people! So now we got the mirror comp going on. It's pretty much who can pull off this comp the best. It's pretty much what mirror comps are for. And now they're going to be starting things off. Anakin filling in for RoboCop in Junkertown is going to start things off. I'll bet they were really missing the person back at Junkertown. And now, look at that, pushing them back. They're going to get point A already.
And oh.
Never mind. I really am not sure. A lot of unpredictability here. Just when I thought they were going to get it right away. Here comes Hyperion just getting a couple kills, but a lot of trade-offs, and now it's just... It looks like it's just neck and neck, and it looks like Hyperion's going to hold. I spoke way too soon here, folks.
Yeah, with Hyperion being able to use that amp matrix right away, I think both Felix and Smurf Police got it at the same time, but Felix just put it down right away before Smurf Police even had a chance to do it. And I'm also not surprised that we saw Compass Venom do it that fast on point 1 so far, because we saw that on Village. They were able to do it. They were able to attack the point that fast beforehand.
Though they didn't get the point, they did make a lot of progress on it. When I thought they would capture it, they did at least make progress on it. Oakley, unfortunately, is not going to be able to get anybody with the Deadeye, so that's an all put to waste. Here comes Blizzard. Body is going to try to get something out of it, and gets a lot. Oh my goodness, Rose! Not able to get a Deadeye right off, thanks to the Earth Shatter from Nodlin. And Nodlin is going to help Hyperion win this next team fight. And right now, they are looking like a immovable object here.
Yeah, and that was really good ult management, because Fadi used the wall right in front of the amplification matrix, so they couldn't get any damage through, they couldn't get any shields through, and they used that May ult and got everybody almost.
The ult usage is what really made the difference here. Not just what you got, how you use them, and that was used correctly, and unfortunately, the self-destruction is not going to get anybody thanks to the immortality field from Felix. But it's not mattering very much. It really did help the teammates finish them off, and they are this close to getting point A, and now they get point A. That's just all. I just didn't speak too soon this time.
Yeah, they're finally able to get it, and they also got it so Hyperion does have some far spawns coming in for both the DPS. So it's good. They should be able to get it past this first archway and maybe even a little bit around library almost.
Now we got, looks like Smurf is going to be staying behind at the point while the rest of the teammates are going to go push up just a little bit. They're going to need to be careful because they're without any ults, although Smurf is close to an amp matrix. Here comes Deadeye from Oakley. Will he get anybody this time? Here comes a self-destruct from Jackson. Anakin is just unfortunately there to be engulfed by it. And now it comes, the immortality field is in play from Felix. And now the May wall is going to be going in and separating them, not for just a little bit. And it looks like Hyperion is just going very aggressive, pushing up, and now they're going to be going back and regroup themselves. Not really, but now Compass is going to need to figure out something to make this push happen.
Yeah, especially with this archway being the main corridor.
Wow, that Blizzard really did work well for Vadi. And that is really halting a lot of the momentum out of Compass Venom. But not a hope is lost. 5 ults are on standby. But Rose is taken out of the fight, so the Deadeyes won't be appearing for at least quite some time.
Yeah, and again, this archway right here is super difficult for teams to go around, but it looks like that Compass Venom is trying to go around this sort of alleyway section now.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to catch Hyperion off guard, but they will have to deal with the Amp Matrix. Anakinisms will take out Vadi, and then they're going to be following that Blizzard. Really, it just wreaks havoc, especially when you see all 2 ults, especially with the Blizzard. You know how dangerous that thing is. It just ruins your day, especially when it can just result in a bunch of kills.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Julia didn't decide to use the not the amp matrix, the beat drop right there, because they could have saved basically everybody there. I don't know if I couldn't remember if they got first or not, but they're gonna have that to engage with now in this fight.
Here comes Rose, seeing if they can work a little magic themselves, but Oakley will get taken out of the fight. Anakin and Fat Pat Nat were engulfed by the Earth Shatter, but all of them are still alive here, so there comes the Jackson Moon, not getting anybody there. These immortality fields just can be a lifesaver, especially when you've seen this a bunch before, and Julia using the beatdown, and now Anakin just Earth Shatters Nodla into oblivion, and this is just the push that Venom exactly is what they needed to get here, and now they're going to have just less than 2 minutes to try to push to the end.
Yeah, but Hyperion is coming back up with 3 ults as well, so it's going to be difficult for Compass Venom to be able to keep pushing, especially with the Vadi's May ult.
So now they do have 4 ults on standby on the offensive side of things for Venom. Both DPSs. These get the self-destruct could potentially be deadly, but oh my goodness, Pat's Blizzard is going to be eaten up by Jackson Moon. Eats that up like a blizzard from Dairy Queen, saying very delicious. Oh no, doesn't! No, doesn't! That self-destruct ends up going to the pit of despair. Oh, that could have been big, but now you're down to just a Deadeye and an Amp Matrix on the side of Venom, and look at how far pushed up that Hyperion's pushing. And now they've got the aggressive approach, and they're really putting the pressure on Venom now.
Yeah, and especially with Compass Venom only having a minute left, that's actually really good aggression from them.
And it really is. There's the Earth Shatter, but the Maywall will save the lives of everyone there from the side of Venom, but not for very long. Anakin and Pat learned that one. And now you're down to 35 seconds, and now the pressure's really starting to mount up for Venom. They need to figure out something, especially when you only have a Deadeye left, but Julia does have Sound Barrier on standby. Anakin does take Nodlin out. Now more also taken. No way! Jackson Moon taking out 2. Oakley will get engulfed by dozens. Self-destruct and Smurf, but Smurf Police taking out two! Taking out Felix especially! Smurf takes out another one in body! And that's the thing that they desperately needed! Just when things started to look like they were going to go south, Smurf Police is saying, no, I'm going to keep this team alive. I'm going to help push this up to even if we can't push to the end, we're going to get into as much as we can. And they are near the destination. Oh my goodness, almost, but Town Barrier is played. Everyone will benefit from it. Amplification Matrix is not zero, but Oakley will take out Anakin. My goodness, so much things have happened, but 4 members of the Hyperion are... Rose, however, will fall too. This is going to be close, but it's going to be Venom. It's going to get the full capture. Oh my goodness. Just when you thought Hyperion was going to get the full hold, this mayhemic amount of chaos ensued, and it pretty much started with Smurf Police just getting those much needed kills, starting off by getting the kill on Felix Penguin, and the rest is history. They get the 3 points. They may not have had any time left, but they managed to make it work.
Yeah, and that was huge. It's for having a flex support that's able to go into God mode, as I like to say, at any point of the match, and especially having it happen with like going into overtime, that couldn't have been more perfect for Compass Venom and Smurf Police.
Compass Venom. Smurf Police especially deserves a lot of credit on that one. But my goodness, when you thought Jackson Moon was gonna start the momentum halt, getting that double kill, Dozen was able to, I think, find Oakley with that one, with the self-destruct of their own. And then, it's just a lot of chain of events happening that just happened to go the way of Compass Venom, and now we see Oakley going for the Widowmaker. I think they're going to try to go for some high ground sniping from the spawn point, and never mind. We have been bamboozled again. Oakley's switching back over to Cassidy, and it's going to be mirror composition once again here. We got love mirror comps, am I right?
Hey, I love it.
So here we go, Hyperion. Let's see what they can respond to from that big push to the end from Compass Venom. And here's how to start. Listen, Roog's gonna get the kill on Anakin, gets stuns on both the DPSs, and Julia already taking out a fight, and that's a big mow down there when you can see one. And if I don't speak too soon here, I think this is going to be a point A easy capture for Hyperion, but I've spoken too soon before, but probably not this time.
I know, and it all started with Anakin. He went, instead of trying to fight them like as a group as 6 on this left-hand side of the statue, he decided to try to go for a nice little flank, try to get as much cleave damage as they could, and then Hyperion just turned on him immediately. As soon as they saw that first Ryan swing come in, they turned on him, and the Smurf Police was trying his best to try to get everything to keep Anakin alive, and it just ended up faltering.
These are sometimes with high risk, high reward strategies just not working out too well. Here comes Amp Matrixes, both out for both teams. Here's an Earth Shatter, only going to get Dozen, or I think that was the flashbang that got him, but does not matter. Nothing will take Dozen out of the fight. Here comes Anakin, so he's going to get a 4 on there. And unfortunately, it's Hyperion members that are fallen victims, so stay alive. Oh my goodness, Jackson move. That was a great placement of the self-destruct. There's 3 unfortunate victims of it, and that is going to be another big team fight for Hyperion, and they are continuing to push this payload, and no signs of slowing down either.
Yeah, Jackson timed it perfectly by throwing that bomb in when everybody sort of wasn't really focused on it entirely, and was able to get 3 in. Those were 3 great picks for him.
And we're going to see what Venom can respond with, if Dozen can respond with a big triple kill of their own. Here comes the Matrix, and there comes 2 Shattered, Rose and Julia, both victims, and now the Blizzard comes in, just ruining Compass Venom's day right here. 4 already taken out, and this is just not looking good for the defensive side of Compass Venom, and it looks like they should be able to clear this team fight out and But unfortunately, but right now Dozens comes out, and here comes Julia with the sound barrier to keep the team alive for the time being. They really don't want this payload to go that 2.8 meters. They pretty much are fighting for their lives on it, but Liz will finish off Dozen. Anakin, wow, Nodlin just continuing to be a menace with the Reinhardt and just shutting down Anakin, who has been a big factor in Nepal. And like I said before, no signs of slowing down at all for the side of Hyperion, and they're continuing to pile up dead bodies here.
Yeah, can somebody check Anakin's computer and make sure he knows he's playing Overwatch 1 and not Overwatch 2? He can't cancel his charge, and he just decides, you know what, YOLO it, I'm just going to Leroy Jenkins, try to pin into somebody, try to get a kill, and they end up turning the fight because of it.
I really wish we were playing Overwatch 2. I had a lot of fun with that beta there, speaking of Overwatch 2. Alright, back to the fight. Things are looking much better for Hyperion than they already are. 5 ults on standby. Rose will try to get a Deadeye going, and I don't think anybody's going to get anybody. And now Oakley, not going to get anybody, but knowing how much momentum they're getting, how many more graves are we going to have to fill up from the side of Compass Venom in this team fight, because Hyperion's still not slowing down.
Oh no. Yeah, Hyperion is just looking like out of this world right now.
Anakin. Oh my goodness. Getting pinned, and Nodlin is just pretty much has Anakin's number here. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi had to Anakin Skywalker in episode 3. But right now, the defensive hold there, however, for Compass Venom. So they do have a little bit of hope, but they can't afford to lose any more team fights.
And Dozen was able to come back and get a really great pick onto Anakin, just hooking him off the map, basically, and I think he's looking for more.
Here comes the Blizzard, and Anakin almost gets frozen there, but will escape. Pat will unfortunately be taken out by Oakley, and here comes a Deadeye. Anakin, oh my goodness. Oakley pulling off an Obi-Wan on him as well. And this is not looking good, as one support on the side of Compass is taken out, and there's going to be 2 minutes and 18 seconds just to get a tick. So they're playing for a draw at worst, which I should say at best, for Compass Venom.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough, because especially with how fast that Hyperion got the first point, they got a tick within the first almost like 30 seconds. So it could be over like that, or with how it's difficult how to sort of call King's Row, because sometimes teams on defense just mess it up on the first time, and sometimes in overtime they just decide to turn it up another notch, and we could see that coming from Compass Venom.
So here we are. Oh, do I see what I see? Body going Bastion here, or is this going to be for real, or is this going to be a bamboozle? We'll have to find out soon, and looks like Rose is going to, for the time being, going to opt for the Pharah, going for some high ground, but have to look out for both the Oakley and Vadi. Hit scans are just a nightmare for Pharah players everywhere. Even if you have the Pharmacy active, just a single headshot from a Widowmaker and you're down for the count. Let's go back. Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. And especially if they do this, they're going to try to TP the Bastion onto top of the statue, which it looks like that Hyperion is trying to do to get this first tick right away.
And I've seen this before when I casted a match with Guthix. There's a teleport. This is what I'm talking about. Teleporting the Bastion onto the top of the statue. It worked before. Like it's high risk, but when you only need one tick, you can pretty much just have a lot of flexibility. And right now, Anakin already taken out, and looks like Hyperion is going to be on their way of taking King's Row. They just need to get 4 more bodies and graves filled up, and there it is. 2-1 Hyperion as they head towards match point.
Yeah. And it's on Temple of Anubis too, which is a very defensive-sided map, so if they decide to choose defense first, then it could be difficult. But I just want to go back to that Bastion comp, and it's really good for that overtime because they have to step on the point. And if you don't have anybody in front of the Bastion's face, it's just going to be completely difficult to try to negate him completely.
Oh, look at that. Just lets the mech bounce off the payload, and then it just bounce off the building there a little. Jackson Moon, 50 eliminations. That's 68% of the kill participation. Well, that included that triple kill. What we just saw there was just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, and Jackson Moon has been doing that. Has been playing D.Va really, really well throughout the entirety of this match today. So it's nice to see them get a little bit more recognition in the kill feed, but I'm not surprised, to be honest.
So now, if you're Compass Venom, you're gonna need to think of something here to try to turn this around, to try to force a map 5. Anakin, he had some great things going on in Nepal, but ever since then, he's just been shut down. Like how Obi-Wan had a high ground against Anakin Skywalker. So now we're going to see if Anakin could channel their inner Darth Vader in Temple of Anubis. And meanwhile... Yeah. Oh, sorry, go on.
That's all good. And especially now because now Vaddy's actually being swapped out for Deja Vu. So maybe Hyperion has something up their sleeve that they haven't shown out so far, because it's just been the same 6 people that have played for them. So they might be trying to get something in for Temple of Anubis instead.
And so far, Oakley has just been very great on the DPS, although really what wasn't needed to be much of a factor in King's Row as they were in Junker Town. Oh, just the deadliness. I still kind of shudder with those tactical visors that they pulled off here.
And even with King's Row, you still didn't, even though you didn't see it as much, he was still doing work with the Cassidy completely. He had some great zoning high noons that forced them to fall back. So I wonder what he's gonna be playing on Temple of Anubis.
And we saw Oakley can provide a really good DPS support role, especially when you saw him go the Symmetra to port Vadi to the top of the statue, who was playing the Bastion. Like you mentioned, only needed 1 tick, and with so much room for error, just try it. It's a high risk, high reward strategy that's almost guaranteed to work.
Oh yeah, especially on the overtime. Ooh.
Here we are. Are we going to see the Echo action for real this time? Rose might be going for the Echo, and Pat opting to go for Sombra. We have not seen these 2 heroes in action yet tonight. Oakley opting for the Ashe this time around. Haven't seen the Ashe action at all on the side of Hyperion. And with them playing on defense first, we're going to see what's going to be going on. Deja Vu and Lissaru. Ah, yes. Good rhymes. Pulling for the pharmacy comp to try to out pharmacy Julia and Rose from Nepal. We're going to see if they can pull off the magic here in Temple of Anubis. And now, for real, Rose is going to be playing the Echo. So we're going to see the versatility and see if that versatility increase can help Compass Venom pull off a victory here in Temple of Anubis and force a map 5 here.
Yeah, the Echo here is very good, especially with trying to get a copy off.
So Anakin, again, first one who have been taken out of the fight, and this has been like this a lot since Temple of Anubis. And already you got a nano boost ready to go from Smurf Police. And that could be very important on for a future fight.
Especially if Pat's be able to attack the Baptiste.
And it looks like Anakin will get pushed back a little bit. Oh, he's so angry right now. And once again, it's just taken out of the fight and just not having good luck staying alive here. Ever since ever since King's Row, Rose will get the sticky kills on Lissa Rue. That's a support out of the way, but it's 5v5 right now. But looks like Venom will have the high ground advantage. Here comes the shield that was in the way for the moment. There's the damage boost on Rose. Felix will be taken out, so that's a big pick there, taking out some healing. And looks like they're gonna at least get some progress started on the point right after Glisseroo is taken out of the fight as well. So that's halfway already. Deja Vu is being taken out. Anakin's gonna make sure they don't get to the point at all to not interrupt the progress. The point A will go the way of Venom.
Yeah, and especially with the pharmacy comp, even though that Compass Venom doesn't really have anything that really hard counters Deja Vu, they still have a lot of stuff that can just poke them out, especially the Ana from Smurf Police.
Here comes Deja Vu trying to barrage, doesn't get any, gets hacked, it's taken out by Pat. And that's a lot of sequence of events happening. Rose is gonna go ahead and duplicate the Sigma, and there's Nodlin taken out courtesy of self-destruct. Bob is in play, and Bob's gonna do nothing. He is hacked. He can't do anything while hacked. But Jackson Moon is gonna bring Anakin down to earth very fatally, I should add, too. And Julia is just almost close to being taken out, but he's gonna escape with their lives for the moment, but never mind that. Deja Vu will make quite sure of that, and Venom's gonna have to reset.
Yeah, second point, Temple of Anubis especially is very difficult for attacking teams because even though it's a very choke pointy map, I like to say, you still have those three different ways that you can try to attack from, and it works both on the attack and defense. So Deja Vu's swap to the Tracer actually really helps them because of the different ways that they can try to get around the tanks and get into Julia and Smurf Police's face.
And we can add to why it's difficult for offense. You gotta look at how near the spawn point is to the second point for the defense. They can just go back in right away. Like, if you want to capture a full point, you gotta win like 5 team fights total in a row on point B. And I'm quoting this from Guthix. Yeah, it's a very daunting quest. Here comes this Supercharger coming out on the side of Hyperion. That's not going to last very long. Anakin's going to take out Lissa Rue to get things started, but Rose, wow, Oakley. You can see why they're so dangerous on DPS. Taking out 2 in almost rapid succession right there. Make that 3. Julia is getting some headshots there. Even though Venom will have to reset, they do have 46.6% of progress made, and they at least have given themselves a chance to win.
Yeah, this is very good for Compass because it means even if they don't cap the entire point, they can't play for a draw, really, it seems like. So now if they either win or lose, there's no draw involved.
Yeah, I really don't think Compass Venom wants to play for a draw. They want to win. Like, they had to play for a draw at best at King's Row. I'm thinking they're saying enough's enough. We want to try to get this done right now. We want that map 5. Let's bring out the self-destruct. Unfortunately, he's not going to get anything. Almost got a mech kill there, but the Pulse Bomb and Bob are doing their work. Anakin and Julia are victims of those respectively, and Bob is really doing a lot there, taking out 2. You say Bob do something? Well, Bob just took 2 out of the fight right there.
Yeah, and especially since it split everybody in half. You had the 2 tanks trying to go in and just go try to face push Compass Venom, and then you had the backline being split off by the Bob. And then Oakley decides, you know what, I'm done with the Ash, I'm swapping over to the Cassidy now.
Here comes another Jackson Moon Graphitic Flux. Gets 3. Look at the damage right there. Not able to get a kill, but and I think that Graphitic Flux is going to be pretty much for naught right there. So a good work out of Compass Venom to survive that thanks to the healing. Now you got 3 ults on standby. 4th Venom. There is some hope that they're going to go ahead and flank to the left. And and then Nana's like, uh-oh. Let's get ready. They're flanking us.
Oh no. Oh, Julia dies immediately.
Oh no, indeed. That's especially when you lose a support like this at this stage of the round. Now you're down to less than 30 seconds, and you're pretty much in final fight territory, and you only have a sound barrier on standby, but you'll have both DPS ults at standby. As I didn't realize Pat went for the Reaper here on this one. Almost has a Death Blossom ready, but they're going to need to hurry up.
Yeah, they're going to this sort of try to touch point right now, and it's difficult because I don't think they're even going to be able to touch almost.
Well, Pat tried to get the Death Blossom, but going to get denied, and Oakley takes him out, and that's 3 already done, and this is going to be a defensive hold right here for the side of Hyperion, once they take out Julia, that is.
And this snap, it's very difficult, especially for an attack, if you don't get that first point capture. Attacking again is going to be very difficult, and now it's either win or lose for Compass Venom. It's win or go home time now.
Win or go home, indeed. I don't think they want to hang around Temple of Anubis much longer. They really want to get that map 5 going, but no. But knowing Hyperion, they have been so dominant during both Junkertown and Kings Row. They take the series here and now with Temple of Anubis if they could get 46.6% or more on the second point. I don't think they want to go to Oasis at all. They just want to call it a night and just get this done. But they got the tools. They got the tenacity for it. And Oakley giving me some flashbacks right now with that Soldier 76. Yeah, I'm looking at Junkertown here.
And Liz is actually pulling out the Zenyatta. I don't know if that's a real pick, but it could be very, very good for them, especially getting that sort of melty Discord that is pretty good. But with Compass Venom playing this double shield, it's going to be very difficult for them to actually attach onto that. Actually, attach the Discord onto Venom.
So now this is it, do or die time. 4 Compass Venom. And Lissaru, yep, we have been. How many times have we been bamboozled, Karma, with picks?
Ooh. A lot, but Jackson actually dies first, which is very unfortunate for Hyperion because they aren't able to get that charge / nano. But even though as I said, they are already at 60+%.
Already, look at that, 72% to the barrage for Rose. This could be pretty deadly very early on, and you can get that ult fast enough. I'd watch out for Rose as well. Almost has the ult ready already. And then Barrage is about ready, but Felix does have a nano ready just in case things get a little dire.
Yeah.
Here comes Nano Gorilla time for Nodlin, and not gonna get as much value out of it. Rose will take out Jackson, and we just don't know when that barrage is gonna come out. It's like, I feel like Hyperion's gonna be shuddering a little bit on that one. Deja Vu is gonna take the disguise as well and go far as well.
And Nodlin switches to the ball so that way they can get a little bit more maneuverability and a little bit more disruption against Venom.
Although Deja Vu will have to look out for Pat though, but Oakley could pretty much back them up on that matter as well. So, like I said, it's a little bit of a mirror DPS comp right there. Deja Vu gonna win the Sky fight, well, with some assistance from Lissaru's damage boost to take Rose out of the sky. You know what they say, the sky's the limit right there. Julia will he then go Valken, so will Liss. Sky's the limit. Here comes the supercharger. They are spending their ults trying to go for the hold here. Here comes the graphitic flux. And I think it'll get Oakley. Deja Vu will deny Rose any chance of getting anything with that barrage. And we're seeing some trades happening. But so far it is 3 versus 1 right now on the point. And they're going to win that one. And they're going to be starting some progress already on point A.
Yeah, the only thing that seemed bad about that attack is Felix did use the nano at the end there when it was only dozen alive. So they're probably wanting to hopefully get that back to combo with Deja Vu. But they do have 4 minutes to try to attack this point B.
Yeah, you got 4 minutes, you have a barrage, and you have a minefield ready to go. If you're Hyperion, you're pretty much set in stone. Just gotta watch out for Pat's tactical visor especially in case, let's say somebody wants to try to flank. Because you got him in your sights, you can just tell, especially against Deja Vu, but Deja Vu is gonna get Julia there. And both players are gonna go tactical visor, but 3 already, there's just too much damage done. That's gonna be it. That's map. That is series for an easy win for Hyperion.
And that was really good. They were able to sort of split them off. Noodlin and Deja Vu took that right-hand side and were just able to collapse on everybody. And it was a very good sort of play from them to attack point B.
You know, I'm going to call it here. Oakley has got to be our MVP of the match. It just doesn't matter what DPS. It just give Oakley Soldier 76, a Symmetra, and just do a lot of work here, especially in Junkertown with a ton of kills with the tac visor, and especially with being that accurate with getting the play of the game there in Junkertown with some help from Jackson Moon's graphitic flux, and is able to get Julia out of the sky as well to help capture that point in Junkertown.
Yeah, and even with us saying that Oakley is MVP, like, everybody stepped up, but Oakley just stepped up that little bit more, had those few wow factors that really pushed them over the edge. And even when we weren't talking about them, they were still cleaning up fights and making sure everybody was playing as well as they are, since they are the captain of the team.
And indeed, but there have been some good moments there, especially Smurf Captain, for Smurf Police, I should say, trying to keep at least Compass Venom's hopes alive in King's Row with some much important kills to try to keep things interesting. Even despite being a support, the Baptiste is pretty good at doing some damage as well. But
Oh yeah.
So that will wrap up for a seemingly quick 3-1. So match 2 is going to be this Sunday. And so Slipstream will be taking on Team Foxes. And that is going to be going on this Sunday, starting I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on UGC League's YouTube channel. So anywho, if you guys want to catch me on Twitter, I am at the Adamsmasher. You can catch up when I go live on Twitch, which I am at twitch.tv/Adamsmasher93. And Karma, do you have any social media that they can follow you on?
Yes, I do. I have a Twitter, which is at Karma_OW, a YouTube, which is Karma, K4RMA for both Karmas, and then an Instagram, which is also at K4RMA_OW.
Sweet, sweet. So that is it for us, for my good friend Karma, and Xiuna, our fantastic producer of UGC League, would not be able to make this possible watching this without him. I am Adamsmasher saying good night, and we'll see you guys Sunday.